what's up today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day out there. I think it's Tuesday. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think you need me to tell you the day. And plus, if you're watching this in the future, telling you the date means nothing anyway. So we finished up the load from California, and I say we, I mean me, myself, and I finished up this load from California to Florida with a stop in Atlanta. They're unloading the last of it right now. I'm waiting for a call for a lumper fee right now so I can get these guys a check and I can get out of here. I've got a load booked back to Minneapolis. Let me be honest with you, the rates in Florida right now are not as good as they are in Southern California, but you know, we take what we can get. I did find a produce load straight back to Minnesota, so I'm gonna grab that. Gonna rock that. We'll see how that treats me, but yeah, this load was pretty uneventful, thankfully. You know, as I said in the last video, Long Beach, coming out of there, and I looked at the paperwork. It's actually Carson, California, which is right beside Long Beach. But just to clarify, I kept saying Long Beach because, you know, that was like the major city there. But it was actually the tiny little town called Carson. Very industrial area. You guys that run out there probably know what I'm talking about. But anyway, came out of there. It was a pretty rough go up to Barstow, but after Barstow, I mean, it was, you know, high speed all the way. Did really good on fuel economy, considering I was going 70 miles an hour, but, you know, I did 7.93 from Carson to Atlanta, so that was pretty good. A lot of that's flat ground. I had a tailwind basically until I got to Amarillo, and in Amarillo it turned into a crosswind, and then kind of once I got to Arkansas past there really was no wind, so that helped out. Didn't stop a lot. You know, I was driving in, like, you know, typically anywhere from 3 to 6 hour increments, so not stopping is good for your fuel economy. You know, you just keep that thing rolling. I ran some of it like through like Arizona around like Flagstaff. I did drop it down a little bit because you know, I wasn't trying to run those hills at 70 because I couldn't keep up 70 anyway. So I was running like 68, 65 through part of that, but then after Flagstaff it was 70 the whole way. But yeah, good load. Really good load, negative 10 degrees, weighed about 30,000 pounds. It was good stuff, you know. I tell you, the best thing about a negative 10 degree, I'm in Florida right now. It just got done raining. It's, you know, starting to get hot out. And let me tell you, the best part of negative 10 degrees is when you open those trailer doors, you know, you get outside and it's like oppressively humid out there. And you know, that negative 10 degree air you know, hits you right in the face, and that's why I moved to Minnesota from Tennessee. You know, Minnesota's kind of humid, but it goes away like really quick, you know, in the winter, you know, and it's not as humid year round, I guess. But anyway, I guess let's talk some numbers. Let's get this load out of the way. This load was $7,500, and it was a really good paying load to be going coast to coast. You know, I did not do the numbers on that. I don't know why I was thinking, but I did it earlier, and it was like $26.50. I did it like when I was booking the load. I think it was like $2.80 a mile to the carrier. So some quick math, that would be 56 cents off of that, so that's like $2.24 to the truck per mile. Really happy with that. This is a load board load. It was just good times to be in Southern California, you know, holiday weekend. You know, not a good load ratio, all things working in my favor. Like I said on the last video, if you watched that, that's the only reason I really went to California. Normally I don't do California, but you know, when you get an offer to go and then things are better there than even the offer you got to go, you kind of jump on it. So $7,500, you bring that down 20% from that is what I get. I get $6,000 of that. Truck fuel, did really good on truck fuel, I thought, for a cross-country trip. Got good fuel mileage, did not have to idle much. I was thankful for that. Like, pretty much last night, I spent the night here in Florida getting ready for this Orlando delivery this morning. Idled for about 5 hours this morning. It got humid, and it was just like, you know, I just got up, turned the truck on, let it run. So, really no idling. From like California down here, did really good with that. Spent $764 on truck fuel, and I got more truck fuel than I started with. I'm almost at a full tank. I'm about 30 gallons off a full tank right now. So I don't think I started with yeah, no, I know I didn't, because I ran all the way down into California and got out of California before I bought fuel. So I definitely got more fuel than I used for this trip, but it just is what it is. I just, you know, whatever I bought. I did get fuel in Oklahoma at a Valero for $1.59 a gallon. I mean, it's like stealing money when you can find a fuel stop like that, you know? It really is. $1.59, you know, I mean, I get a discount at Love's, TA, Petro, but, you know, like, my discount's 19 cents a gallon. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to get down to $1.59. I think I bought fuel, or the fuel closest Love's to that Valero was selling fuel for, I can't remember right offhand, but I want to say it was like $2.14, something like that. So with my discount, that would have been $1.95 a gallon. So that Valero is still 35 cents cheaper than my discounted at Love's. So, you know, I like getting my fuel at Love's. I like, you know, basically I try to balance it out a little bit. You know, like in Utah, I got fuel at TA because they're in, what is it, Salinas, whatever it is there. There's a Love's and a TA Express. Like, they almost share the same parking lot. Love's was $2.48, TA was $2.15. You know, I don't know if, like, you know, one of them hadn't just adjusted their prices or whatever, but typically the Love's is like a penny cheaper than the TA or the Petro in the areas, you know. So, I mean, I got fuel there at the TA. I don't always buy the fuel at Love's, but most of the time I do. It's just, you know, some of the mom and pops have had bad luck. You know, you buy fuel, you clog fuel filters like immediately. I did that in South Carolina one time. I stopped at this little mom and pops and, like, you know, just burnt the fuel filters like immediately. Like within, you know, 100 miles, I'm like needing fuel filters. So I try to stick to Love's now. I do pretty good with their fuel. I try to buy it in states where it's not massive biofuel numbers like B19, or, you know, I try to get it where it's, you know, 10% or less. So that's my strategy on that. Spent $139 on reefer fuel. This was a negative 10 degree load, and I was really impressed with the trailer as far as how it worked and how good it did. It's a Great Dane. It's Super Seal. It is got a big carrier unit on it. I think it's the 7500 X4. I don't know. I have to get out and look, but I think that's what it's got on it. Really impressed with that number, because, you know, basically $60 of that was from the load before, because, you know, I didn't have a chance to fuel in between loads. So I ran that other load down, got it off, and then had to, you know, pre-cool to negative 10, run over there and grab the other load. There was really nowhere to get fuel in between. So, you know, I stopped in Barstow there at Love's and filled the reefer up, and that was $60 of it. You know, basically 4 hours into the trip, I spent half the money on reefer fuel, you know. And then every day, you know, I try to buy reefer fuel every day, especially if I'm on a, you know, refrigerator, like -10 load like that. My average was probably around like 10 gallons a day usage to hold it at -10. And, you know, that's during the day, you know, most days I was up in the 80s. So that's, you know, actually yesterday we were in the 90s, and pretty good. They took about 15,000, I think it was, yeah, right at 15,000 off in Atlanta, and that left me little under 16,000 to bring here. The load was like almost 31, really. But you know, what's 1,000 pounds here and there between us truckers? $22 in DEF, $13 in tolls. I took the old Florida Turnpike this morning, paid cash for that bad boy because I couldn't get my Sun Pass set up that I bought yesterday, and I've got a pre-pass, and I get that through the company I'm leased to, and I got to call them today and see about upgrading it to the Plus Elite. Two guys in the comments, I appreciate that. One guy told me I should look into Best Pass. I looked into that. That's exactly what I want. It seems like Pre-Pass Plus Elite, Wampa, whatever it's called, is about, it looks very similar, and I've already got a Pre-Pass account, so I think I'm gonna look at it one more time before I commit, but I think I may just get the Pre-Pass Plus Elite XJ7R Super Sport Edition. But I think that's what I'm gonna go for. But the Best Pass was a good suggestion. I looked into that. That is definitely that's the way it ought to be. You know, do it all in one. You know, I don't have to pay for all this. But I want to burn up the money on my iPass, and I'm probably going to just go ahead and set this Sun Pass up because, you know, I don't know, maybe a week or two before I get that Pre-Pass Plus Elite. But I will say this, it is almost impossible to use up the money on your iPass if you're going to switch from iPass. Because I lost an iPass transponder one time, and you know, I didn't just I misplaced it. I put it in storage, and I thought I'd left it in the truck. But anyway, I called them, and I told them, I said, hey, and this is, you know, when I went to try line haul. So I didn't need the iPass. And I called them, and I said, hey, you know, I've got like an $80 balance on there. Can I get that $80 back? In theory, you can, but in reality, Illinois ain't cutting no refunds. You know what I mean? Illinois ain't got no money to refund nothing anyway, in my opinion. Yeah, I called like 3 times on that bad boy. I was like, you know, they were like, yeah, you just need to turn the transponder back in and get your $10, you know, refund on it. And I'm like, don't even care about the $10. Like, I got my money's worth out of it, you know. I just want the $80 refunded is all I want. And because I figured by the time I mailed that transponder back in, I was probably going to be $5, $6 in shipping, and you know, why waste my time for $4? You know, so I guess I could have stopped at a travel plaza and turned it back in and got the $10. But there again, I hate stopping at those travel plazas. 99% of the time, I don't even go through Chicago. I go down through Rockford and cut over. You know, so I'm like, just screw the transponder. I just want my money back. They were like, oh, okay, well, if you don't want to turn the transponder back in, you just need to report it as lost or stolen, and we'll give you your money back. Waited like a month, never got the money back. Still on the account. Tried again like a week or two later, nothing. They're like, oh yeah, well, we're working on it. At this point, it's been like 6 weeks. So I call them back again like another week. Yeah, it should have went through. I don't know. Let me process it again. You know, gave me just the runaround. It was funny because when I bought this truck, I just dug the old transponder out of storage, called them, and they set it right back up, and I already had $80 on it. So I was like, I guess, you know, fate or whatnot. But yeah. Anyway, back to the numbers. 7,500 the load paid. That's $6,000 to me. If you add up the fuel, the reefer, the DEF, $22 in DEF. I don't know if I said that. $13 in tolls. And a little nugget here. I don't know how they're gonna, but down here where it's E-Pass, I came off the Florida Turnpike and I had to get on another toll road that was an E-Pass toll road, and you know, they don't have anybody in the booth. The Florida toll booth, because I'm paying cash, they didn't have any. Florida Turnpike, the SunPass part, had people in the booth, but the E-Pass, this little toll road I was on over here, didn't have anybody in a booth, and it said just keep going, we'll bill you later. And I'm assuming what they meant is if you drove under that, they were going to take a picture of your tag. Sorry about that. They would take a picture of your tag and send you the bill. So I went over and went through the toll booth, and there was nobody there to take money. So I'm thinking maybe I got around that toll. I don't know. We'll find out here in a couple weeks if I get a bill in the mail for it. But if you get on one of those and it tells you no attendance available, just keep going. I'm just saying it might be worth the 2 seconds to whip through the toll plaza and go around that thing that takes your pictures. I don't know. I don't know if I dodged anything there or not. I'll update you here in a couple of weeks, but I think I did. I think I got around that $7 toll I would have been paying there. But yeah, $938 is what all the expenses add up to. $7,500 to the company, $6,000 to the truck, $938 in expenses. Realistic numbers, I probably got a solid $100 worth of diesel more than I needed to complete this trip. But anyway, that still leaves me $5,062 to do what I got to do with. So very profitable load. Ran quick. That was Friday. I picked that up Friday afternoon. So let's say Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Little under 4 days. Not bad. I wish I could run like that all the time. Not really run that hard, but make that good, you know, rate on a mile. I don't think I want to do $900 miles a day consistently. Just it's a soul crusher, you know. It's like for me anyway, you know, I'm used to, you know, I go for like money, not miles. So, you know, my typical day, 400 miles is a pretty good day for me, especially doing reefer, you know, because when you get a multi-stop, you know, your day is, when you get 4 docks in a day you got to sit at, you know, that kind of takes up a lot of your day. So I'm not used to putting it in like that, 900 plus miles, you know, especially not back-to-back 900 mile days. That first 900 mile day went by really quick because, you know, it was kind of like, I don't run out west, so, you know, like New Mexico, Arizona, you know, I'm like, because that first night I ran out of Carson, I ran up and stopped in Kingsman, Arizona. So that second day was like, you know, Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma. I don't run out there, so it's all like new to me, you know, as far as like, I mean, I've ran it many times before, but I think the last time I was out there was about 5 or 6 years ago. So, you know, it's different, I guess. And I touched my eye. I got the coronavirus. Dang it. But anyway, it's new, you know, so that first day went by really quick. Then I got over into Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi. Man, like, I've ran that so much, you know, it's like over the years I've been out through there so much, it's like, so that second 900 mile day was a beast, let me tell you. Not as far as like, it was just boring, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It was just boring. But yeah, that's what was up, guys. Just wanted to talk about that load. It was pretty exciting to me because I don't do that a lot. So but that's it. We're just waiting on the lumper to call me, tell me a price. We'll get them a check, and we'll be on the road back to Minnesota. Anyway, later, guys. Take care of each other out there.